A few years ago, we recognized that more people were bringing external devices, like their portable devices, into their car and trying to use them while they're driving. There were a lot of features that were making their way into vehicles, and we wanted to tackle designing those features in a way that customers would appreciate using them. We actually set up ride sessions where we may go on a business excursion with the customer. We may go on a sales call or maybe a personal errand. We try to capture all sorts of different scenarios with these customers. I mean, some of our guys even rode on vacations with people.
It was critical that we were out in the field seeing this, not just having a market research firm or someone else go out and do this research for us. Something may not have seemed that important initially, but however, when we continued through the design process and we saw, oh yeah, I mean, what happened in this particular case, we could continue to refer back to, oh yeah, well, I saw this in Atlanta, I saw this in San Francisco. That really helps to solidify and just add more meat to the design.
One of the examples for that is the radio presets that we've had. In this study, we found just how important it was for people to be able to instantly make phone calls or to call up destinations to their home or work. And so we took that again to the next level, where now you can save radio stations, but you can save phone numbers as a preset. It's those things that you don't necessarily just instantly think of if you're just sitting in a room trying to come up with designs, but once you see people, these ideas almost become obvious.
We kind of watched where they would place things so that when we got back to the office, we can not only just design a great radio or a great instrument cluster, but also affect the way the interior is designed so that we put storage where customers may need that storage as opposed to the traditional glove box. Once we have the visions and we have kind of agreed upon feature set, we'll literally do paper prototypes. So we'll draw each screen out on paper and we'll put a piece of paper in front of a person and we'll say, okay, you know, you want to perform this task, what button would you press?
We're able to make a few adjustments in the final stage of the design based on the outcome of that usability testing.
For example, typing in a destination. Previously you had to do a city and then you could do the street and then you do the number. Well, now we'll let you just type out the full address, or you can just say the full thing using your voice.
And then as the design progresses, the prototypes get higher and higher fidelity to a point where we're now testing what is the production part with a customer before we release it. We have to work very closely with the brand teams to make sure that we're designing components that meet the brand essence. So we have to work really closely with the brand teams, we work with the human factors group, and we have to work with the development team that actually builds the parts, the software, the hardware.
We have to take and look at what is the customer doing, and then how can we best support that and give them the easiest, most fulfilling experience in the car.
We're in an XTS Mule equipped with this AVL tool. When you go out on a typical evaluation drive, you know, how you use this setup.
We have a standard test procedure that we've developed to evaluate vehicles using this tool.
And in this vehicle, we've got a number of pieces of hardware in the cabin here, primarily a laptop, and that's for you to use. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so the laptop is connected to the equipment, which gives us some information about what you as a driver or passenger would be feeling within the vehicle. For me, quite often we'll use it for benchmarking both GM and competitive vehicles to get an understanding of how we perform in the marketplace.
So you can, with this tool, you can give me kind of a baseline pedal feel, so to speak. This is an electronic throttle, so it doesn't have a mechanical device, it doesn't have a spring in it anymore, but you're replicating that feel basically.
I'll change the launch characteristic of the vehicle, and we'll see if it feels differently to you and put some perspective of the customer's voice with the tool. Just a couple keystrokes. I'll start the analysis here, so we'll have that going as well.
Okay, here we go. Wow, that felt like somebody just pulled the rug out from under us.
And so we basically had it wasn't a smooth transition in the pedal response of the vehicle.
No, not at all. I mean, there's a lot of perceived pedal travel right there.
So I watched you constantly raise the pedal on the graph here, but it felt like the car just died on us. Let's try this once more with the standard calibration and see how it feels without that hole. back to the standard calibration.
Okay, yeah, that's more like it. So I could really see how powertrain and even vehicle development teams will use this tool to big advantage.
Right, and as we continue to work together with engineers within the organization and our customers, we're able to improve those expectations and get more focused on what the customer really desires in a product. It's a different expectation for a Corvette owner than it is for a Cadillac XTS owner, and we need to keep that at the forefront of our development. There's a sacrifice sometimes for drive quality in order to improve fuel economy. We use this tool to make sure that that doesn't happen. We want to understand what does it take to provide the customer the optimal product